I'm going to show you how to row. Now, a lot of people get rowing wrong. They think that they just have to pull the bar to their body, and in doing so they don't really contract that many muscles. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're contracting the muscles in the proper way. So I'm going to talk you through how to do that. Now, as with a lot of these videos, the way you do your rows is the same in almost every single thing you do, whether you do it single arm, whether you do it double arm, whether you do it with a barbell, dumbbells, with a machine, the same thing applies. So I'm going to talk you through that part first and then show you the form of specifically a bent over row, because that's the one that most people get wrong. So the first thing we want to be thinking about, I'm going to turn around so that you can understand. So the first thing we're going to be thinking about when we do it is we want to pull our shoulder blades back. We want to try and squeeze our shoulder blades together. The reason for this is because we want to work the middle of the back, which is called our rhomboids, and that's going to give us the best contraction and the best support, kind of pulls our shoulders back and makes us look really confident. That's the kind of thing you want to be thinking about. So let's say, for example, the bar is in front of me, pull my shoulders back. Then I'm going to try and force my chest up to the sky and give myself double Ds. That's kind of what I'm thinking all the time. And then from there, I'm going to pull my elbows back and pull my hands towards the bottom of my ribs, well, between the bottom of my ribs and my belly button, causing the biggest and best contraction I possibly can between my shoulder blades here. Kind of giving yourself like a back cleavage, right? That's what you want to be thinking about. So we're squeezing those shoulder blades together, forcing our chest out at the same time. Now, like I say, if you do that with a dumbbell, it's the same thing. If you do that with the TRX, same thing. If you do this with a bent over row, same thing. If you do it with a seated row, same thing, right? You get the idea. The whole point of it is always to be the same. Now we pull back and we keep our elbows tight. This gets lat engagement and this gets contraction in the shoulder blades. The same thing goes if we do a single version. We're trying to pull that shoulder blade back and we're going to pull back. All right, we want to be thinking about that all the time. So now I'm going to show you the form. So when we do a bent over row, the difficulty a lot of people find is that when in a bent over position, forcing your chest out causes you to lift your body like this, and you end up doing like a bit of a row and a deadlift at the same time. We want to stick to just the row. So we're going to stay in this position, and the more we bend our legs, the better. Then from there, we're going to pull back between the belly button and the bottom of the ribs, like I said, and then focus on that contraction. But instead of forcing our chest out, we're pushing it up because we're bent over. So there, trying to give yourself the best front and back cleavage you possibly can when you're bent over. So whether you're underhand, overhand, wider grip, doesn't matter. The same principle still is really there to apply. It's just the level in which you can do it based on your hand placement will differ. So typically you would want your hands just around shoulder width apart or slightly wider so that you can get that contraction. If you go wider than that because I've told you to, then that's cool. You just won't be able to retract your shoulder blades quite as much because you're in a wider grip. So lean forward, stick your bum back, pull those shoulder blades back, and then squeeze those shoulder blades together each time, thinking about giving yourself the best back cleavage possible. That's it.